Can we normalize going to work for the paycheck? I really
Y'all, I've been waiting like 24 hours before I actually responded to this video. If you haven't watched it, go back and watch it before you watch the response. But here's the thing I want to start with first, right? I don't want any hate towards this individual. I don't want any kind of negative comments towards this individual. It's not about him. It's not about what he believes in life and all that kind of stuff. But what it is about is the mindset, the society that created the conditions to foster this mindset. Because here's the thing, here's the shocking thing. He's not all the way wrong, but the mindset breeds all kind of other consequences that people don't address in society. So let's get into it. The thing that I have an issue with is first when people say, I love what I do, but I'm just going for the paycheck. Let me ask you a question, right? And this could be for him, this could be anybody that want to answer in the comments. If you love your job that much, let me ask you, if you were making 3 times your salary doing something else, are you staying at that job? Are you continuing to love it as much as you say you do, or you're moving on, right? And that's the thing, that people say that they are into the things they do, say they love what it is they do, until the bigger, better deal comes along. And that's the society that we live in, with all this hookup culture, with all this other things that make committing to something and being passionate about something actually worth doing. We have a society filled with bigger, better dealers, right? Out for the next thing that can basically improve their life and forget all about the previous thing, right? And I'm not saying people can't grow. I'm not saying people can't change. But this right here, this mindset of you can only have one and not the other. You can't say you love what you do and then want to normalize the paycheck, because here's another shocking coincidence. That we have normalized going to work for the check for like the last 200 years, right? So if you got to normalize just going to work for the paycheck, how about we talked about the normalization of getting your hours cut without warning? How do we normalize working for 40 years of your life with nothing to show for it? How about we talk about the normalization that somebody could just unsummarily wake up in the morning time, come to your job, not let you know that they plan to fire you, but fire you on the spot? How about we talk about the normalization that somebody can be working 25 years of their life and then come into their office and get people telling them with a straight face that we no longer need you and thank you and best of luck for your future endeavors. You want to normalize getting the check? You want to normalize getting a paycheck and living paycheck to Tuesday night? You late, bruh. Y'all late. Society is late. We've been normalized that for more than 200 years. What we need to normalize is learning a skill set. What we need to normalize is learning an actual set of skills that would perform for you, that would be a part of you regardless to what you chose to do. What we need to normalize is the fact that in spite of you having your 9-to-5, because I'm not against 9-to-5, what I am against is people having no control over their income, having no control over their spending, because other people that don't live in their financial house, that have no concern over their financial house, making the biggest decision that has to relate to their financial house. Don't believe me? Check the rates on the credit cards. Don't believe me? Check on how much rents have gone up in the last 3 to 4 to 6 months. Don't believe me? See how much your car insurance rate has changed, but you're driving the same car. See how much school fees went up too, but you got the same kids, right? They learning the same things, but yet y'all want to sit up here and talk about how much things you want to stay the same, but nobody's willing to change. But you want different. You want the life that you can retire from, you gotta build it. You want the life that you can actually create an income without having to wake up in the morning at god-awful hours and leave your family behind and risk the memories that you could be creating with them just so you can go to a job where you can send your boss on vacation with his family, but you gotta stay chained to your desk. You want to normalize that too? We gotta address the real issues here before we start normalizing mediocrity. See, when you say things like, I love what it is I do, which I get that you could possibly do that, but like I said at the top of this, do you really? Or do you only really love the fact that they give you just enough so that you don't leave them, but give you little enough that you keep going back? See, that's where the mental slavery comes in, where you don't even realize that you're bound. There's a difference between abiding until you can do something better and settling. And what I will refuse to do till the last breath in my body is refuse to settle. Refuse to settle for a life that is defined by someone else outside of God. I refuse to live a life that is determined my family's memories, my family's legacy, my family's financial future, defined by someone else that is not me and that is not the Almighty God, but defined by somebody else who could give two hoots about where my kids go to school or how I eat or how I actually put a roof over my family's head. You want to normalize those things too? Or are we going to refuse to talk about that till the turn of the next century, when we finally get it together that the online world ain't going nowhere and has created more millionaires in a day than most of these big companies have created and sustained in a lifetime? While people that we don't see, but people whose words, whose actions are reflected in plain sight, while the gap keeps widening, while people stop living paycheck to paycheck, but stop living from paycheck to Tuesday night till Friday you get your paycheck, and by time 3 hours it's gone because things have gone up so high that you can't even see straight, much less provide a sustainable income for your family. So you want to normalize something? Let's normalize freedom. Let's normalize education, any skill set. I'm not talking about secondary education from professors who don't even live the life that you want to live, who don't even use the skills that that they're teaching you to use, and using outdated things to teach you to hopefully give you a piece of paper that maybe could guarantee you nothing but mediocrity and working at a video store so you can actually scratch out a living for your family. But yet they get to make a $70,000, $80,000 and they're not even living the life that they want to live, but they teaching you, right? How about you learn something from people in an industry that's literally what you want to do, that you're passionate about something and you're going after it and you're willing to change the world because life is too short for anything less than that. Let's not normalize mediocrity. Let's not normalize silliness, because to expect that you're going to continue to live for a paycheck and work for a paycheck and somebody else won't decide without your permission that you no longer get that paycheck is absolutely asinine to me. But if you want to do something different, if you want to have that life that you deserve, you got to build it. And that's why I teach people how to build a life that you don't have to rely on a paycheck, but you rely on the fact that you have become so valuable to your potential customer, to your potential client, that they show up for you because you show up for them. If you want that, type ready in the comments and let's go. Let's change this world.